even when you lost. There's always a hope. Rise and fight.
This is the last match for today's Group B to see who is going to join Dawid in the round of 16. Will it be Avi-Love? Will it be CroS? I mean, Avi-Love did win against CroS earlier today, so this is a chance at revenge for CroS, but you know, he can't be feeling too good about, again, facing a Zerg for his, you know, round of 16 life.
Yeah, tournament, it's gonna end here, possibly again in a ZVZ for CroS, or you can break through, manages to win. I think he's gonna be a favorite against Avi-Love, despite his like historical bad luck streak in ZVZ. It is best of 3 now, so he's gonna have to lose twice, and you can still get like the bad RNG, like you don't scout, you get build order disadvantage, but in a best of 3 you have more like skill will shine through more often than not in the best of 3, I think. And
no, I totally agree with you. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the last game will be, the first map is going to be on Butter. So 2-player map definitely removes all of that kind of scouting disadvantage. Very straight up. And especially without the ramp there, it's going to kind of force certain playstyles. So I think this is about as straight up as it gets for both players. Butter is going to be the map. I think the players are ready. Let's get into it. The final series for today, CroS versus Avi-Love. And then, coming back
looks like
the storm.
We're ready. Looks like the score is actually reading the future, or maybe it's just wrong.
Yeah, spoilers, dude.
But we have CroS or Avi-Love in the top right.
Dude, I always knew Zero owned a time machine. He came back in time to save Broodwar. In the bottom right, it is CroS in the yellow.
All right, so one thing, last game we saw Topol from CroS, and on a 3-player map, Topol is actually a pretty interesting choice.
Yeah.
Because it's really rare to see 12 hatch on a 3-player map, because the most common Zerg opener is 9-pool, and you're always gonna know where to go. It's not like a 4-player map where sometimes you don't know where your opponent is and your lings are out.
Yeah,
it's really rare to see that, and Avi-Love banked on that, got away with the 12 hatch, and ended up in a really nice position. And looks like we have Overlord again from both players. Not gonna see a 9-pool. Probably gonna be double 12-pool, or maybe someone's actually gonna go out for a 12 hatch here.
Yeah, I mean, 2-player map. I think it's very risky to go for a 12 hatch on the 2-player map, but CroS is gonna do it, and so is Avi-Love. Oh my god, I'm actually surprised.
11 hatch. So this is 11 hatch, and this is a countermeasure against 9-pool, and both players actually doing the exact same opener. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, kind of extremely risky as well, again, because this isn't like a Benzene. You know, like Benzene was that 2-player map, but the rush distances were huge. I think even if you go, I'm guessing even if you go 11 hatch here, 9-pool just straight up destroys you. So kind of surprising to me, actually, but both players are gonna have mirror builds here, and of course, being a 2-player map, we're not gonna have any kind of shenanigans in terms of disadvantages with respect to scouting. So as straight up as it gets here.
Yep, mirror builds on a 2-player map, really reducing the variance in ZVZ. ZVZ purists here would be pretty happy with how things have played out.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see though, because there's still some differences in these build orders. You know, whether one player chooses to go for the speed.
Oh, that's an additional drone there for Avi-Love, and I wonder if CroS is doing the same, or if he just went straight 6 lings. Are we gonna see Lair first from either? Looks like CroS
Lair
and Avi-Love both went Lair first. And both actually added an additional drone. So mirror builds exactly for now. Avi-Love even making more drones. This can be a little bit risky though.
Well, now they're both scouting each other, so there is that as well. Couple links popping for Cross. Does not see the natural, whereas Avi-Love does see the natural, so a bit of asymmetry, at least in some of the information. Cross, though, he knows that... Well, actually, the one thing that Cross did see faster than Avi-Love is that they're both on lair. So he can safely push out here and know that they'll have similar speed timings. And that gives him a nice advantage because at least having the Lings out this far onto the map already means that eventually he can kind of threaten counterattacks. Whereas Avi-Love cannot. He's kind of boxed in right now. And whenever he moves out with these Lings, he'll have to deal with run-bys.
Well, it looks like we're having an engagement, which is not good for Cross. He really wants to keep these Lings alive so he can threaten counterattacks, but it looks like he's just going to go full retreat. He didn't make a sunk. He made additional drones. That's why we're seeing the sunk now. And a lot of Lings here for Cross. But Avi-Love should be aware. He does have the... Well, it looks like the spire timing for both players identical. Of course, they had the same lair. Speed finally finishes there for Avi, and there for Cross as well. But I think Avi's in a better position just because he didn't have to make a sunk in here.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the sunk is a huge cost, but at the same time, this static D can serve its function later in the game. And finally, EverQuest user himself adds a creep colony at the natural, but which is very, very standard here. Both players going for the gas, very mirrored. You know, I can't see whether... I think Cross has maybe an extra drone at this point. But it doesn't seem like either player really has too much of an advantage.
Yeah, both eventually made the sunkens, and the drone count looks basically identical. We have a 4-link counterattack. These Lings were actually hidden at third. It's like one manages to get by, but the sunken placement was perfect, and the drone pull was on point there for Avi-Love, and nice control there and reaction.
Yeah, Avi-Love had a sick block, and now Cross did not get any damage with those Lings, but again, keeping Avi-Love in his base, this is really good for Cross because he's activating his Lings. He's actually going to go for it. I don't know what he thought or what he saw to make him take that decision, but actually a lot of those Lings got caught up on the sunken. So some of that DPS was lost and really kind of donating the tempo he had. But this does open up his mutalisks a bit because he saw kind of the muta timing from Avi-Love. He knows that his mutalisks are faster, so he can kill this overlord without too much impunity. And if he gets the second overlord, that would be pretty big.
Looks like Avi-Love controlling the mutalisks doesn't... Oh, actually one Scourge manages to land. Second overlord is actually really low HP. I feel like Cross can't commit there, but now this is a problem with losing all those early Lings. Now Cross can do the same kind of move. Looks like the Lings attacking the sunken. Avi-Love still has more Lings here. Forcing the drum pull, but doesn't even get the sunken. Maybe 1 or 2
Oh
Ling
my
hits
god,
away.
5 health, dude. That sunk. I mean, sunks are just insane. They've got so much health. Takes such a huge beating, and now, I mean, kind of a game of catch, really. Throwing a couple Lings there, throwing, you know, Lings back and forth, basically. But now Cross, because he just eliminated all of Avi-Love's Lings, he does regain map control. He can run Lings around, I mean, it's true that Avi-Love might have rallied a couple Lings at some other part of the map to go for a counterattack, so you can see that Cross is actually fanning out his units, especially considering the sunk at the Nat only has 5 hit points left. But he's getting a couple drones as well, so really nice pickoffs there from Cross, and Cross is kind of grinding himself into a nice position. That being said, though, you know, Avi-Love is still leading in supply.
Yeah, Avi-Love has a couple more mutas. We had a nice bait there with the Scourge in the main going into the corner, so the mutas could harass the net. But I think Avi-Love has something like a 2, maybe 3 drone lead here. And yeah, it looks like 2 more drones for Avi-Love. And that sunken just not going down. I gotta mention, and not a lot of people know this, Sunkens actually have 2 base armor, so Lings actually only do 3 attack per hit. And looks like this is what we was missing in their first match, just a Ling movement to spot mutalisks, and nice there from Cross to see where the mutalisks are. And you can see him positioning his mutas. Maybe he wants to go into the main if he can get an eye on where the mutalisks are, because of course you don't want to go too far deep and get your mutalisks caught. That could be a swift way to end the game. But nice movement here from Cross, just constantly checking the map.
Yeah, Cross playing pretty well so far, but doesn't have that many drones at his natural, despite having basically sniped Avi-Love's drone count down. Looks like their economies are pretty similar, but actually run by inside of Avi-Love's main. Couple Lings do get past the sunk. 2 Lings can wreak havoc inside this drone count. But oh my god, that was a sick control there from Avi-Love. Dude, today Avi-Love's drone count, or rather drone control, has been on point against the wall, not losing any drones, even earlier against Cross. Just doing such a good job to keep them alive.
Oh my god, this is actually massive. Somehow Cross got +1 armor and Avi-Love only has +1 weapons. And if you're thinking they're on even footing because of that, no. +1 armor is way more effective than +1 weapons. Straight up, the mutalisks will destroy the +1 weapons. The Scourge are the key factor here. We don't see any from Cross. He's gone full muta. But straight up, if they were to just micro equally, this would be extremely difficult for Avi-Love. Looks like he's going to try to kill some overlords. Looks like Crossy is coming in. He's got to be careful. This is more than one group of mutalisks. So pretty impressive micro here from Cross.
Yeah, I mean, Cross does want to take a fight because, again, he has a nice upgrade advantage. But at the same time, just so many Scourge from Avi-Love means that you have to fight. It's not very clear. It's not very obvious taking these fights for either player. So just very delicate situation. Behind this, Avi-Love is actually taking another base. Does micro his mutalisks well to kill those Scourge. But now actually Cross gets inside of Avi-Love's main, but does not commit. He knows that Avi-Love has a huge flock of Scourge, really is what is the difference maker here. And Cross not feeling too confident. At this point, he for sure knows that he has that upgrade advantage. But again, you don't want to take a fight and just eat a bunch of Scourge.
But if the fight were to go down, I feel like Crossy would come out ahead. Here we go. Looks like Avi-Love doesn't want to commit either. Just a bit of a bait and switch there.
I mean, both players are going to be posturing here, but this is definitely working for Avi-Love because, he is taking a base behind this. So Cross not sure what his plan is. He's massing, but he doesn't, I feel like he's kind of pigeonholing himself into a losing situation because he just doesn't have the same economy that Avi-Love does. I mean, let alone, forget about this hatchery. Oh my god, he has so many drones. But even at the Nat, Cross has just been mining with 1 drone at the Nat minerals. So this entire time, Avi-Love has just been out mining Cross.
Yeah, and of course, when you mix in Scourge like Avi-Love did, you are spending more gas than you are minerals. So that's why he was able to afford, on top of the extra drones, all this extra minerals are coming from that. That he made all these Scourge, and the Scourge are really what's holding Cross back. I feel like if there weren't that many Scourge, he would have committed earlier. Maybe he's waiting for an upgrade timing. Maybe it's +2. I am not really sure why he hasn't committed. And Avi-Love, I hope he's getting +1 armor because the mutalisks, the way they scale, you really need those upgrades, especially Carapace. And it looks like one of the Scourge maybe connected there.
Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine that Cross is waiting for +2 Carapace. He's just massing and he's gonna go at +2 and hope he wins this fight. But really, I mean, Avi-Love with the drone count he has plus the 3rd gas, sure, Cross could get a nice upgrade advantage, but I feel like Avi-Love will just be able to field that many more mutalisks that it just won't matter.
Well, there's the +2, and Avi-Love still only has +1. This is Crossy's moment. He's got to go now.
Yeah, he has to take this fight. He's going to intercept Avi-Love. Will he, though? Barely misses him. And Avi-Love gets away, but now if Avi-Love seizes and turns around, that could spell disaster, but he doesn't. And Cross, the time is, the clock's running out, man, because just so many more units are being made by Avi-Love. I don't know if this is going to be enough for Cross to win the +2 advantage. I mean, it looks like, I don't think Avi-Love has +2 weapons either. So +1 weapon versus +2 air armor.
It's happening.
Here comes the Scourge from Avi-Love. There's so many Scourge actually at Avi-Love. I think all the Scourge connected. Will that be enough looking at the supply? They're both kind of evenly going down, but it just seems like Avi-Love has way too many Mutalisks. He's been mining for way too long from the natural with extra drones and from this third base, the third gas as well. Doesn't matter that Cross has this upgrade advantage. He just doesn't have the numbers.
Yeah, that's not how I was expecting it to go down, because when you go Mutalisk into the Muta Scourge, you want to kill the Scourge first, because the Scourge don't care about your +2. They do 110 damage. Yeah. So that seemed like just way overconfidence from Crossy for no reason.
Yeah, I mean, it was just not the best fight. And at this point, I think it's all but over. Avi-Love has just been mining so much more than Crossy has.
But that was just a perplexing decision to not micro at all. And all the Scourge basically connected. Even if you get like 4 Scourge on one Muta, they just all connected. There was no movement, just a straight up 1A, 2A from Cross there. Looks like we're going to have a dive on the Spire maybe here.
Yeah, we might have a dive. Kills a lot of drones, but now is going to get intercepted possibly. I mean, killing those drones is good work, but again, like, he's down. Not only is he down economically, like drone count wise, but he's also down a whole hatchery. That's a lot of production, especially in a matchup like ZVZ. And I think now, yeah, look, Avi-Love has one upgrade, so he's starting to even out the armor disadvantage, the upgrade disadvantage. And when Avi-Love finishes that +2 air armor, he's basically not going to have any disadvantage whatsoever. Economically ahead, militarily ahead, tech-wise ahead.
Oh, those things actually did way too much to scare Avi-Love. He actually sent all his Mutalisks just to deal with those 2 links, open up a path to his main. Now Crossy gets a Spire, and this kind of, yeah, Evo Chamber definitely, because Avi-Love now is going to be forced, I think, into an attack.
Yeah, he might, especially after losing that, but the thing is, he has basically 20 supply on Cross. 20 supply, that's 10 Mutalisks. That's a whole control group of Mutalisks.
Well, Evo Chamber canceled, so he's not going to go for it. And Avi-Love is in Cross main. It's a lot of drones. The Spire's exposed. But he's got to kill these Scourge. He's got to kill the Scourge.
Yeah, it's all about these Scourge, but they actually all connect once again, and even more Scourge rallied in here. Again, we talked about how the upgrades don't really care about the Scourge, or the Scourge don't care about the upgrades. This dogfight looks pretty even, but now Avi-Love kind of coming out ahead. Just the supplies looking disastrous here for Cross, and I think Avi-Love is going to take this game number 1. Just waiting for the GG, really. GG is called. And Avi-Love, man, he's up basically. I mean, he's up 1-0, but he's up overall 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, the lack of Mutalisk micro there, it's just, I don't understand. Because the plays were good, getting the Spire, the link movement, but just in the big fights, just Avi-Love had Scourge and Crossy did not micro against them. And that kind of limited his options, especially because he was behind not only on production, but in gas. Avi had a whole extra gas there.
Yeah, I mean, and again, like the natural was mining with 3-4 extra drones, which is why he was able to afford that extra hatchery as well. So Cross kind of pigeonholed himself. Sometimes that happens in this matchup where, you're making units, and all of a sudden you didn't make drones. And it's like, well, if I make drones now, I'm already too far behind, so I have to go. And his go just wasn't effective. Kind of ate all those Scourge to the face, despite having the upgrade advantage, and lost, really. So Cross has got to be feeling pretty down here. I mean, I think the first game you can look at that and be like, well, he got unlucky, but the second game, I mean, it was as
it was mirror all the way through.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see what map Cross picks And there's a decent amount of maps. I mean, maybe he can go for Eclipse this time around, another 2-player map. But again, like when you lose straight up in this mirror situation, that definitely affects your confidence, you know?
Yeah, I think, well, the Eclipse is a good map if you want to limit variance.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, because again, the variance, he had limited variance this game, and it didn't work out. I'm kind of surprised, to be honest with you, that Cross would go for a 12 hatch in that situation, because to me, Cross strikes me as a 9-pool type of player. You know, just play to your strengths, right? And I think like going for a 12 hatch against someone like Avi-Love is playing to his strengths. So I would like to see him play more aggressively in the next game, but I think probably after this game, Avi-Love is going to expect something like a 9-pool. He's going to go for a 12-pool. Monopoly is going to be the map of choice for Cross, so let's get into it. Cross has to win to stay alive in this series.
Well, in the bottom left spawn, we have the Zerg player Avi-Love.
And top left, we do have Cross.
So 4-player map here picked from Cross, and I think he's got to go 9-pool. 9-pool is, because even if you're up against 12-pool, you can still find ways to get an advantage out of it. The thing is, there are very specific anti-9-pool builds. You have Overgas, Overpool, even maybe something like a risky 9-hatch. All can do well against 9-pool. But Avi-Love, he's won straight up, and he's won the macro game. It looks like we're going to see an Overgas, and this is perfect. Oh, no, just what? Cancel. I'm not sure what this is then.
He's going for a 10-hatch. This is Avi-Love's special. Yeah, this is, oh my god, he's reading this situation perfectly. This is pretty much a super counter to 9-pool. And exactly like I said, I think Cross should be thinking about going for 9-pool, and Avi-Love reads it beautifully. Now, I'm not an expert in ZVZ. I'm pretty sure there are a counter, there's a way for 9-pool to play this, to abuse kind of what Avi-Love is doing, but I'm not sure how you're supposed to go about it, because basically with this hatchery timing, you actually get lings out in time to defend the 9-pool, but also you have 2 hatches.
Yeah, so this is a perfect soul read, basically. He knows Crossy is going to go for the 9-pool because the other builds haven't worked out, and Crossy is very good with 9-pool. So he does one of the builds that's very good against 9-pool, just 10-hatch. And it's really going to come down to the first engagement. If Avi-Love can defend that successfully, then he's in a great position. If he can't, then things can get a little bit grim, because of course Crossy does have speed advantage, and it can be hard to fight lings in your main while some are harassing your nat as well. And here are the first 6, and then a couple extra lings, and Avi-Loves are already in production. One thing with 9 or 10 hatch, you actually want to make your lings in the main right away, and then delay the one at your nat a little bit, so that you can have the lings at the nat not pop and get killed right away. So you can see Avi-Love actually did that. And
yeah, Avi-Love of course would know that, but Cross already working on this hatchery. Will it go down? It all comes down to control here, and it's going to be so narrow because the counterattack is going to be so strong from these 2 hatches. Cross, this is where he's excellent, just at controlling lings at the early game engagements, but the second hatchery production is already in effect. Here comes speed, it finishes. Cross has to do something with this, run a couple lings by. You can see he's pulling Avi-Love Zerg's lings to the left, and then sneaks in with a couple of Zerglings, but it's all down to this. They have to get some damage. If they kill 1 or 2 drones, this game might be all but over. Behind this, of course, I think Cross, he's floating a lot of resources. I hope he did start his lair, but yeah, he did. Okay, thank God. But yeah, I mean, if he kills any drones here, 1 drone goes down. So that's a good victory for him. But now, I mean, Avi-Love can just kind of pull the trigger and counterattack. and you have to hold on with just one hatchery production if you're Cross.
Cross still has some options available to him. He can leave something like 2 lings near Avi's base to counterattack, but he really just needs to focus on the defense. And of course, Avi-Love from here, I know what he wants to transition to if this doesn't work. He's probably going to go into 3 or 4 hatch Hydra. So here's the control at the ramp. This is a very narrow ramp. Cross is going to be able to trade effectively. Then once this breaks, he's going to go back to the support of the sunken. But so far, very nice defense here for Cross.
Yeah, I mean, Cross, again, this is what he's really good at. And playing to his strengths, but now taking such a nice trade. Actually, he's still holding the ramp, but gives it up. Does have the sunk ready. And the Spire is going to be on the way here. Almost done, 400 HP. But without the ramp, I mean, this allows Avi-Love to kind of, okay, it looks like he's not actually going to go for an all-in. He's going to go for a 3rd hatch, Evo Chamber as well. So spores are going to be the way to defend here. And it's all going down to Cross. How much can he get done with these mutas? I do like that he's going for the 2nd hatchery, but will he start playing a macro game up against this 3 hatch from Avi-Love, or will he start making lings and mutas and try to bust this?
All right, so getting that 1 drone earlier is actually massive for Cross because it's going to really slow down Avi-Love. And I mean, Cross has a couple options here. He can make something like 4 mutalisks, then pull all on drones, take a nat with his 3rd hatch, and then transition from there into a normal game. That's an option. Or he could just keep on making mutalisk and try to get damage done. But this is a lot of creeps going down for Avi. I'm pretty sure one of these is going to be sunken eventually, or is he just going to go 3 creeps spores right away? Because 3 is probably a little bit excessive here against just 1 hatch of mutalisk production. No, looks like it is a sunken. So Avi-Love is doing something that's smart. He doesn't want to make any more lings, but he always has to worry about a ling muta move into his main, so the sunken helps cover. And just a few mutalisks. I think he has enough to 1-shot lings and then going straight into that nat 3rd hatch. So he's gonna match Avi-Love production wise.
Yeah, I like this from Cross, and he's gonna be at an advantage really because he does have that lair. He does have 4 mutalisks that can control the map and pressure. Now, unfortunately, Cross will have to deal with these lings out on the map, so he can't kind of go with impunity with his mutas to try and snipe overlords and stuff. But I mean, you can see Avi-Love is still trying to build sunks and still trying to build spores rather. And I mean, Cross is going to have such an easy time joining up behind this as long as he doesn't let his hatchery get canceled here by these lings, does find them with the mutalisks, which is a huge win for him because he can chase these down now. Oh, looks like Cross was trying to go for another base instead of just kind of staying on this 3 base with his tech advantage. I think, you know, he doesn't need to play too overly greedy, right, Sari? Because he's got that lair. I mean, he's already gotten mutalisks. And Avi-Love hasn't been mining gas at all. I think Avi-Love is probably going to go into something like hydras here, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting for his 4th hatch, dude.
4th hatch and a hydra. And I actually think Avi-Love needed to scout earlier the nat timing because he could have cut on that 3rd spore in the main, realized this guy only has 4 mutas, can't really do much, and got in everything a little bit faster. But this isn't that big of a deal. The 4th hatch, I think, just went down.
Yeah.
This, I mean, Cross is really interested in getting a 3rd base, and this is a little bit perplexing to me. But let's see how he follows this up. Still not mining any gas.
Yeah, I mean, in this situation, you know, they're both kind of almost entering a gentleman's agreement. Like, okay, no rush. We're just going to play a nice long macro game. He actually has an Evo chamber. So, oh my God, are they just going to... What's that Evo chamber for, man?
Is this for +1 lings? I'm not really sure either. I've never seen the muta player also get an Evo chamber.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be a weird game for sure, but it's going to be an entertaining one. That's there's no doubt about it. You know, both players just macroing though for now. The lings are a threat on Avi-Love's side though, because Avi-Love's not the one who is kind of overextending himself. He's kind of huddled up on these two bases here with a bunch of spores, you know, a sunk, 4 hatcheries. So he doesn't have to worry about getting attacked. But Cross doesn't have as much production, doesn't have as many workers. You can see the supply is now starting to favor Avi-Love. And, you know, Cross will have access to that 4th base, though, momentarily, and that's going to help him. But actually, Cross is going for his own Hydralisk Den.
So this is Lurker, and this is Lair before the Hydralisk Den, so this might be for speed. But this is Lurker from Cross, and now things are starting to make sense.
Yeah. Well, do you think that Evo Chamber is actually researching range upgrade?
I think it's... because it's interesting. If you go range, it really only helps your Lurkers, and you're not making a ton of them. But if you go carapace, it helps the links as well. And Avi spots the drone transfer. This is actually massive. Now he knows something is up.
Yeah, I mean, he knows for sure that there's a base there, but, you know, there's not much he can do about it. And actually, I kind of like this from Cross. The Lurkers are going to totally stop Hydralisks, and I mean, I'm not quite sure that Avi-Love even started his lair, because
Avi-Love actually went lair before the Hydralisk.
Oh, he does have lair. Yeah,
so it's already done. And Queen's Nest and Spire.
What am I watching?
So this is gonna be Mutalisk.
What's the Spire for, man?
What's the Queen's Nest? Is it for ensnare?
Well,
I mean,
it's for Hive, no?
I have no idea, because if you go Queen's Nest and Snare, then the Mutalisk can't actually fight at all.
Yeah.
And if Avi-Love is building for a timing where he has something like maybe like 3 to 4 control groups of
Oh, the gig is up though, because Avi-Love sees Hydralisk, so now he knows that basically Cross isn't going for just pure Muta. I think for a second, Avi-Love has just been working off of the assumption that Cross is just playing this macro, like maybe Muta Link style. Oh my god, he doesn't actually clean up the links, though. The Mutas run away for some reason, and these links are going to kill the Hydras as well. Still 2 links left over. What is happening, Cross? Not like this, man. The Mutas are going to backtrack here, but just such a blunder from him, losing so much mining time. Okay, Avi-Love kind of exaggerating here with this drone count, definitely oversaturating his 2 bases, but you know,
yeah,
I mean,
this is Queens, because we don't see any Hive, and it's gonna be 4 ensnare, and he's gonna have 1/1 Hydras. So that's the power spike Avi-Love is going for. It's gonna be 1/1 Hydras. He's gonna have 1 ensnare. Oh, Mutalisk getting shot here, and he's gonna have Overlord speed to deal with these Lurkers.
Yeah, but does he know? Does he know that there are Lurkers? Well, I think this one link will confirm it. I'm sure well, now he knows for sure. So definitely won't move out without the Overlord speed.
It was for Carapace. It was for Carapace.
Wasn't Zero talking about hosting like a no Spire ZVZ tournament? And we're just having it happen here, man.
All right, so I mean, Avi-Love is just gonna take a third here. This is gonna go into a later game.
Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be a full-on macro game. Neither player going for those mutas, and we're gonna get a Hive on both sides. Looking at this though, I feel like Avi-Love. What is the hatchery count now? Avi-Love has 5 hatches, and Cross I think has 4. Yeah, so Cross. I mean, Cross is definitely still lagging a bit behind in economy. He does have access to way more minerals here, and actually this base has 8 mineral patches, so his economy is going to be really helped by this. I think he's going to wait for a nydus before actually transferring any more drones, but I don't. So can Hydras bust up this ramp?
It's kind of like Marines. They're a little bit beefier. Oh, they can range the gas, which is a little bit annoying. You know what's actually good against this? No, this is ridiculous. Can it actually work? The links actually buffer a lot.
Yeah.
You know what's actually really good against what Cross is doing?
No, I have no idea.
A Mutalisk switch.
Yeah, that's
Avi-Love
true,
has the Spire.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that would be insane. And I'm sure, like you mentioned, actually, Cross probably doesn't have Hydra upgrades. Like, you know, let alone like the range upgrades, but the actual speed and range, right? So that's a good point. And I mean, this is the kind of situation where neither player has any practice, right? This is all up in the air. it's a free-for-all, and it's all about who can come up with kind of the most insane ideas on the fly and make it stick, I feel like. And so far, I mean, I'm looking at this game and I'm kind of just liking Avi-Love's position. And it's mostly because he's the one that has a mobile army. He's the one that's exerting map control, whereas Cross is kind of just huddled up behind lurkers. So it's going to be much easier for Avi-Love to keep expanding.
Yeah, and I mean, this kind of looks like a ZVT with hydras instead of Men of Marine, but Zerg, if Cross is going to go into Hive and Defiler check, Avi-Love will also have access to that.
Yeah. Well, Defiler Mound here for Cross. Nydus. Oh, yeah, he's going to try and get a Nydus inside of... Oh, man, that is dirty, dude. I forgot. This is almost like StarCraft 2. You can offensive Nydus your opponent in this matchup. This is just insane, man. You don't see this every day. Well, I mean, look at the upgrades though for Avi-Love. I don't know. Avi-Love just seems like he's in such a better position. How do ultras do in this matchup? I mean, I'm assuming they kind of wreck everything.
They do pretty well. I mean, links just do no damage, right? They're not great against lurkers, obviously, because they're melee units. Hydras do okay against them, but the thing is, Swarm. So Swarm Ultra Ling is a really tough combination to deal with for the Hydra player. So Avi-Love has to invest in stuff like lurkers, which he hasn't done so far. And Crossy's setting up to take another base there, another ramp base.
Man, this is insane. It's gonna come down to just pure macro, man. But I was gonna say, can Crossy put that Nydus somewhere useful? I mean, I'm assuming he also wants a Nydus to his base to the top right. Now, Avi-Love hasn't been expanding as fast as I would have expected him to, given the fact that he's basically got complete map control. And Monopoly, again, is a weird map. You kind of have to choose. Do you go to the left side or do you go to the right side if you're Avi-Love? And conversely for Cross, because that island in the middle of the map kind of really breaks up the center of the traditional kind of map design. So it's going to be interesting. You know, you can see Crossy's trying to set up expansions on both sides of the map. That's only 3 lurkers, and hydras are kind of thick boys, plus the carapace upgrade on them makes them just totally evaporate that. You don't see marines doing that, that's for sure. I think the upgrade advantage is kind of showing a bit for Avi-Love in that situation, because I don't know if Cross has range upgrade yet on his hydras or on his lurkers, but I know Avi-Love has carapace upgrades.
So we have a counterattack heading to his base, but there's already lurkers set up, and I don't think Cross has the overlord speed. Another thing is you kind of want hydras as well, because hydras, oh, look at those lurker spines. Hydras do really well against other hydras if they're plagued.
Yeah.
So you kind of want to also get hydra upgrades, not just go pure lurker.
You just want to get everything. Every Zerg unit is just so busted that you just need it all when you're playing against Zerg in the late game.
Oh
man,
careful here.
I don't know why, but this makes me really happy, because I just like seeing Zerg struggle against the most broken stuff that they do usually. It looks like, well, these hydras are cleaning up the lurkers.
Yeah, but look at the lings. Look at the lings getting on top of the hydras and eating them up. And Crossy has triple evolution chamber. I think Avi-Love only has 2. And Avi-Love is floating a little bit of minerals here. He does have 4 bases against only 3 from Cross, though.
Yeah, what an insane game. Cross is pushing forward on the left side. Get some lurkers burrowed. Lings are coming to support. Lurker versus lurker action. Oh my god, man. Like, what is going on? Do lurkers splash each other?
No.
Like, they don't? Like, if the lurkers shoot like a lurker that's behind,
yeah,
they hit the ones in the front?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Well, we have the Defiler here.
Right? Yeah,
even with Swarm. It's just, I mean, this is kind of crazy, but I feel like Cross doesn't have another base, and we don't really see him position. He's just focusing on attacking, and I don't really think attack is the way to go here. You gotta just keep expanding. I
mean, this is where the 2 styles kind of match up to Crossy's detriment. Cross is he's an attack type player. Like, he wants to always be attacking. He wants to always be in your face. he's not really comfortable actually with games dragging on, to be completely honest with you, in any matchup. And Avi-Love, conversely, he loves it when games drag on. He actually plays the turtle. So the longer this game goes, I think it's gonna start favoring Avi-Love. I mean, it's been favoring Avi-Love this entire game, to be completely honest with you. Oh, look at the left side. Actually, a blind spot for Cross, because he didn't basically position units on that low ground. And these lings are going to get in. What kind of damage are they going to do? Oh, but Crossy is moving forward. Dark Swarm, Hydra Alert, Insanity absolutely everywhere. I mean, both players can use this, but it looks like Cross with his lurker count has more to gain from the Dark Swarm. Do Sucks actually hit under lurker?
No, they don't.
No, right?
No. But who has more lurkers left over? I can't tell.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It looks like Cross. I think
Cross
has pushed through here.
Oh man, and breaking lurkers under Swarm. You can only really do it with your own lurkers. You can't do it with Lings. Lings just melt.
Yeah.
Plague doesn't work on burrowed units.
Okay. That's actually the funniest thing I've ever seen in a BSL cast. That's I've got to admit, I think that's like this must be the first or second time or third time I've ever seen someone try to plague burrowed units. Wait, no, okay.
No,
okay.
that was a fight. That was a fight.
Oh my god, what is going on?
Each player lose a base here, right? So now we're down to equal bases.
Okay, so hold up. What are the upgrades on either side? It looks like Avi-Love has +3. Oh, Cross, I think? Is that? No, so Avi-Love has 3, 3, 2? Or is it just 1? 1? And what does Cross have? He has just 1 attack and 2. Okay, so Cross is a bit behind on upgrades, which is going to be huge in this matchup, I imagine. Hatchery does go down. Cross, despite killing that 1 base, he's behind on supply still.
Yeah, Avi-Love mined a 4th base for a lot longer. Cross couldn't ever get his own up. And then it looks like the Ling fight actually goes in Cross's favor here. Hydras are pretty bad unless you have critical mass against Lings. Looks like that was an attempted nydus.
Yeah, it looks like it was an attempted nydus. Cross needs to just build another base, man, or get a couple more hatcheries. That base at the top here, I don't understand how it's not up and running for Cross. I mean, that's firmly in his territory, you know. He can like definitely control that, and he hasn't been able to get it up all game. And now, I mean, Avi-Love is kind of running away supply-wise. You know, he's got like 40 supply, 50 supply, which in a mirror matchup like this is massive. In ZVZ, you would imagine that is insanely huge. That being said, lurkers can be extremely efficient at defending. You know, it doesn't matter if you have a bunch of Lings and Hydras, they'll just get shredded. But Cross is struggling to get a 4th base up.
And now Avi-Love has positioned lurkers on this high ground and make it a lot harder for Cross. Cross did lose his 4th base twice, once at the middle of the map and once at mid-right. So, I mean, Avi-Love has had the economic lead for almost the entire game. And it's going to be a hard mirror matchup when they both are working with the same thing. Now we actually have ultralisks being mixed in.
Yeah, well, ultras with kind of the to be honest, ultras with the upgrade advantage are gonna absolutely tank in this matchup. Absolutely tank. I don't think Hydras or Lings can kill them at all. It's really gonna be down to the lurkers, kind of DPSing the ultras down. Man, this is insane to watch. I mean, honestly, I hope Microsoft patches the mutalisk out of the game and we can see this every single game.
And then here we go. Looks like Avi-Love has this base established. Crossy's only now taking his, and really Avi-Love taking another base, making it really hard for Crossy because there's not a lot of places where you can attack. Ultralisks are here. Ultralisks will do well against under Dark Swarm. Gotta worry about plagues though.
Yeah, I mean, Plague is strong. Looks like Avi-Love still, he's just getting control of most of the map. I'm surprised there's not more expansions this game, to be quite honest with you. I feel like they could have definitely spammed hatcheries all over the map. But I guess preferring to get more Lings.
Do we have one?
What are we going to plague, though? I mean, imagine plaguing Lings. Like, who cares, you know? Is he going to hit the ultras, though? Oh, here come the ultras. These are the tank busters. They're just gonna slam through. Oh, the lurk. Oh my god, plague. Oh, that ultras got evaporated. Wait, lurkers are pretty good against ultras. They didn't do full damage.
They do, but when you have enough of them matching the lurk count, it's like the ultras all have gone down, but these are, again, remember, +6.
Dude.
So the lings actually do like 2, but the lings eat them up so quickly.
Imagine if Dragoons like shot like, oh, nydus! The offensive nydus! Dude, what is going on right now? Swarm goes down. It's all about which lurkers win in this fight. More link coming through the
Avi-Love has detection. CroSs doesn't.
Yeah, CroSs doesn't have detection. The one Overlord is just kind of chilling there, but he's not noticing it. More lurkers coming in.
If he moves,
he's gotta move the lurker or the Overlord, please, dude. The Hatchbeam is gonna go down though.
And all the drones have died.
Imagine if Dragoons had like splash damage against ultras, man. Like that's pretty much what lurkers are, man. Oh my god, this is insane.
And now he's gonna tag in another base that Plague completely whiffs. Looks like Plague is not the spell in ZVZ. It is really good against mutas, of course. Like they're all stacked and clumped up, but against Hydra Lurker Ling, lurkers are burrowed, Lings don't care. And, well, CroSs doing working his magic to even things up, but Avi-Love still has an extra base on him at top left, which I don't think CroSs knows about. It's gonna be very difficult for him to deal with. Don't really see what he can do to kill that base. Guardians are an option, but Avi-Love already has a Spire. He can just easily scourge them.
Yeah. Man, Zerg, I don't know. I feel like if you watch ZVZ like game like this, you gotta admit Zerg is clearly the most busted race in this game. I feel like Zerg has an answer for everything. Queens are there. I'm guessing he's gonna Broodling Ultras.
You get Broodling Ultras or Lurkers. Both are good targets. Even the defilers. The problem with Queens is like, well, actually they're pretty fast, so they can escape from Scourge.
Yeah. But I mean, you're gonna have to have like spores or something to shoot down Scourge, you know, maybe.
And we still need.
Wait, actually, if you think about
base.
it, Queens are like better vessels.
That's true because they can run away really quickly.
Yeah,
it's the same energy they're regenerating, and they could kill. They can actually kill ultralisks.
Yeah, Broodling is like twice the mana cost. But okay, Plague goes down. I mean, you got Plague, you got Broodling. Queens are just chilling around here. Here comes the attack, but lurkers are just okay. Ultras kind of suck in this match. Oh man, they just got slapped. I'm not used to seeing ultras being this bad, you know, as a Terran player, but they're pretty terrible. And Cross, dude, Cross has been on the back foot this entire game, and he's kind of clawed his way back in here. I think if Cross somehow gets another base, this is the problem though. If you kind of notice how they're set up expansion-wise, Cross doesn't have an easy base to take. This right side is kind of like to get to the main at the mid right there. He has to go through the ramp, and I mean, basically Avi-Love is occupying his base. So Cross needs to get another base here. I think if he gets another base, he's gonna be in a really good spot. But I don't know. I mean, it's still anybody's game.
Oh man, Ling's going into lurkers. He needs the queens. He needs the queens to actually break through here.
Yeah, he does need the queens to Broodling the lurkers real quick. But it looks like Cross is gonna push through here. Plagues, dude, he keeps plaguing the lurkers, but it don't work, son. And this attack I think is gonna be held from Avi-Love. That was actually kind of a disastrous attack. I think that basically surrendered most of CroSs' advantage this game.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what we can do. Can't really expand easily. Avi-Love took his base. And Avi-Love taking another base on the left side of the map.
Man, this is insane. Burrow on the normal units as well. And I mean, again, I think the point of contention now is going to come down to this mid-right main. Can Cross hold on to it? Can he establish it? Oh, these lurkers are going to... dude, he doesn't have detection. Cross doesn't have detection yet again.
Yeah, but the Lings and Hydras are actually taking the lurker for another Plague.
Damn it.
But you see no detection. These lurkers getting picked off.
Oh my god, that's insane. That's so unfortunate that Cross just doesn't know that you can't Plague Burrow units.
Yeah, not having the lurkers in position either. The overlords twice has backfired on him. And now
Yeah.
Avi-Love is just extending his lead slowly but surely.
Yeah, this is going to just I think CroS is gonna start realizing this game has slipped away from him.
Yeah, can't take another base, and he's getting suffocated slowly. And I mean, Avi-Love showing his experience in these kind of games. I'm pretty sure everyone's gonna be championing for no muta ZVZ tour.
Yeah, for real. I mean, you know, Avi-Love has been practicing this non-stop, probably with Ariador. I bet they run games like this all the time. So,
I mean, it's unfortunate the other matchups don't have anything as good, because like, what can you do as Terran? No tanks, but then it's just Goliaths. Nothing beats Goliaths.
Yeah, no factory,
or maybe one factory. Just it looks like we have a Doom drop. Oh no.
Yeah, you could limit the number of factories.
One factory TVT, and then like no Dragoon PvP.
Yeah, no DTs either.
Because no Dragoon means you get like scouts and mass shuttles. It's like we have a drop. Avi-Love is prepared though.
Yeah. Well, at least when CroS drops, at least he has detection.
That's true.
Well, he is gonna kill his base, and he is expanding to the middle of the map, so this game is gonna go on. We're 30 minutes in. I think Avi-Love has a clear advantage, but isn't quite winning just yet. So could still turn around somehow. Ultras do engage. I mean, now he started making ultras again, so you know he's feeling confident making the worst unit in the game.
But now look, like just the lurkers.
Lings though, that's like a okay, they're dead. Man, lurkers are insane.
Lurkers are good against basically everything in this matchup.
Yeah, I feel like I'm watching StarCraft too.
I guess if hydras get a good concave, they can do well.
Yeah. But they're no Marines, man. I mean, they don't got the same DPS. They just shred the lurkers before they shoot their spines, you know? So weird. Well, I think CroS is pretty much done. So Avi-Love is maxed out, and CroS once again, man. ZVZ. People in the chat have just been repeatedly typing about how he's cursed, and I think BSL is just not his tournament, man. Like it's not gonna be this season that he beats this curse. GG is called. Avi-Love advances. Does win every single game against CroS today. Goes 3-0. And man, that last game. That was a treat.
Yeah, really. I mean, it had a lot of changes. Like, first we were seeing CroS going to lurker. Avi-Love realizes that, just goes straight into a later game. It doesn't even go for a timing attack, just keeps expanding, and we get high versus high, which is something we almost never see.
Yeah, I think almost. I'm not, you know, I know CroS, right? And it's not out of his like psyche to be like, oh yeah, you think you're gonna play this clown style? I'm gonna beat you at it. Like I don't even know if like he would have played like that if it was anyone other than Avi-Love. It was a nice attempt, man, going for the lurkers, knowing that Avi-Love was gonna play some kind of hydralisk style, but it kind of backfired in that it didn't really allow him to expand. But then he did kind of come back towards the later stages, but just never really established the number of bases that he needed to.
Yeah, that really held him back. And the one time he was able to get onto the map, it was because Avi-Love did something like make those ultralisks, and they just got eaten up right away. And CroS was doing a really good job with the lurker swarm attacks, the nydus, but just couldn't ever get enough bases.
Yeah, and with that is going to conclude today's group, guys. Group B, Dawid and Avi-Love do make it out. First and second place. Again, CroS, unfortunately for him, was just not meant to be. And Avi-Love, I think, surprisingly showing a really good form, considering he's been basically MIA, or at least low-key. I'm sure he's been playing because he actually played remarkably well against DeWalt. So yeah,
Yeah. Good tournament run for Avi, and he's going to be someone menacing to face against in the round of 16. So good to see him back. And yeah, like you said, Cross, just will the curse ever end?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to, you guys will have to tune in next season, BSL 15, to see if Cross does make it further into the tournament. But again, stopped at the round of 24 here. But yeah, that's going to be it for today, guys. That was it for this weekend. We had 2 excellent groups, yesterday and today, groups A and B. Next week, we are going to have even more groups. First, we are going to thank our sponsors, of course, Esport Fun and Optimunk. Optimunk being a new sponsor here, and as well as all our Patreons. Of course, at the Bombastic General level, we've got Star Lover, Colonel, we've got Martin Horsmar, Striker, Zero Sum, Major Plus, Fizzardo86, Cuz, Tupocalypse, and Bombastic Major, Nicholas Schuler, Christian Eddington, LML, Linga Pump, Niantic, and Cork. And of course, guys, I think if you want to support the Patreon, what is it? The $10 level, you get all the replays. So that's insane value. You guys can watch that game that we just saw over and over with your friends in game and analyze it, pick it apart. Of course, there's so many ways to support the BSL. It's not just the Patreon, there's also the shop, there's the YouTube to subscribe to. That's where all the videos get uploaded. You can subscribe to the channel as well. Every bit of support does help. But yeah, man, I don't know, any other last words here?
Nope, just great weekend of games. And well, we have 2 more weekends left in the round of 24.
Yeah.
So I hope you're all excited for that.
Yeah, I think next week we are going to have groups E and D. So that's going to be exciting. Group E is going to be True Touch, the long-awaited return of the Prince of BSL. I remember, we had dubbed him the Prince. He hasn't played I don't know. He only missed last season, right? I think, or was it 2 seasons that he's missed? But I know a lot of people are really excited to watch him play again. Hawk, SPX, Duck, and Group D, Kid, Cadenzi, J-Star, Medinho. So many good games are going to be played next week as well, guys. You don't want to miss that. But for today, for this week, that was it. I'm Gypsy, and he's Seriosity. And yeah, see you.
See you all next week.
Yeah. Have a good one, guys.